Howdy, good day to you. I'm the Leafy Bomb, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to my new series of videos, Pipe Dreams and Poppycock. Now, what does Pipe Dreams and Poppycock mean? Nothing. It's nonsense. That's pretty much it. So this is a series of videos that is going to focus mostly on the hobby of smoking pipe tobacco. And yes, I did use the word hobby, and I will try to explain as best I can what I mean by that. So we'll go ahead and start with this. I was at one point a very heavy cigarette smoker. I was smoking a pack and a half a day, and then I moved over to vaping, and I was doing salt nicks, and at one point I was vaping salt nicks and smoking cigarettes at the same time. Like, I was a nicotine fiend. And then once my wife got pregnant with our first child, I said, that's it, no more, I'm done smoking, because I grew up in a household where cigarette smoking was very prevalent, and I didn't want that for my child. So I quit. I up and quit. And now I have gotten into the hobby of pipe smoking, and there's that word again, hobby. We're going to get to it, I promise. So, why quit smoking cigarettes and then move over into pipe smoking? Well, it became very clear to me what the massive difference is between smoking cigarettes, vaping, and smoking pipe tobacco and cigars. And that difference being is, well, number one, nicotine addiction, right? So with cigarettes and vapes and dips, they are designed to get nicotine into your system as quickly as possible and in as vast quantities as possible, essentially. Whereas with pipe tobacco and cigars, hang on just a second, there we go. Okay, it was bothering me. With pipe tobacco and cigars, the chance for nicotine addiction is much smaller. The reason for that is whenever you breathe in nicotine vapes or cigarette smoke, you are pulling it directly into your lungs, where it is almost instantly absorbed into your bloodstream and then sent to your brain and, of course, your other organs throughout your body. And your body starts to become dependent upon the nicotine you get from those, as well as the other chemicals that are inside a lot of cigarettes, nicotine vapes, and dips. And pipe tobacco, while it does contain nicotine, you will get nicotine, but the amount of nicotine you get is negligible. It is basically insignificant as far as the amount of nicotine you will actually absorb. And this is backed up not just by some data and research that's out there, which you can read with the National Institute of Health, but also my own experience. See, recently we became very sick in my household. My child contracted COVID and a cold at the same time, poor little tyke, and of course gave it to her mother and I, and so everybody's been sick. Now, because of this, I was like, okay, I'm sick, I can't breathe, so I'm just gonna not touch my pipe for a few days. Currently, I think I'm on day 3, heading into 4, of not smoking my pipe at all. And the thing I've noticed is this: when I quit smoking cigarettes and vaping and stuff, I was a jerk. I was a raging monster who was no fun to be around, and not having smoked my pipe over the last 3 days, not the same experience. I have not been having nicotine fits. I haven't had issues with insomnia or a change in appetite or any of that. And matter of fact, you probably still hear it a little bit in my nose. It's still a little stuffy, but I'm definitely I'm heading out of the sickness. Having gone over a whole bunch of data and then my own experience, it is not the same. It just simply isn't the same. And I'm not saying that my experience is universal, okay? It isn't. A realization hit me that the conflating smoking cigarettes and vaping with smoking pipe tobacco and even cigars is just foolish. Yeah, I really don't have another way to say it. And, you know, I know it's probably going to upset some people. Which, oh, by the way, quick disclaimer, because I should have this in the video somewhere. I am not telling you that you should smoke tobacco. Tobacco does contain nicotine, carcinogens, and all other sources. There are health risks even with pipe smoking and smoking cigars. There is just less of a chance of nicotine addiction with pipe tobacco and cigars. You can still get throat cancer, you can still suffer from tooth decay or tooth loss. That all still very much exists, smoking pipes and smoking cigars, as well as, you know, cigarettes and vapes and all that good stuff. So anyway, back to the topic on hand, the amount of nicotine, right? We'll go over that real quick. So, like I mentioned, you will absorb a lot of nicotine if you breathe it into your lungs. Your lungs will just pull it right out of the smoke that you've inhaled and will flood your brain with it. You do have nicotine receptors in your brain. Those are a thing. But it's one of those too much of a good thing kind of deals. You know, like, you know, there's going to be natural types of nicotine, because there are different types of nicotine in different foods and drinks and stuff that we take in every day. And of course, your body can absorb those and process them. But if you get too much of it, develop an addiction. Kind of like caffeine. You can develop an addiction for caffeine. You can develop an addiction to sugar. So much other stuff. Anyways, getting back on topic. The way you absorb nicotine with pipe tobacco and cigars is kind of in line with how you absorb nicotine with, you know, chewing tobacco or dip. You will absorb it through the lining of your mouth, because you're not supposed to inhale the smoke from pipe tobacco or cigars. You're just supposed to pull the smoke into your mouth, let it swirl around for a minute, and then blow it back out. And that's it. Now, the difference that is there is that with dip or chewing tobacco, it sits in your mouth. Your mouth has a lot more time to absorb the, you know, nicotine that's available in the dip or the chew, you know, whichever one you choose. And smoking pipe tobacco and cigars, well, it's only there for maybe 2 seconds, and then it's out of your mouth. Your mouth doesn't have nearly as much time to absorb the nicotine that's in the smoke. So you're not going to get nearly as much. Like I said, it's negligible how much nicotine you're actually going to get. Which brings me to another point real quick. If you are looking for a nicotine replacement, don't go to cigars and pipe tobacco. You're not going to get the nicotine fix that your body is looking for. I would recommend first stepping down. There are patches and gums and stuff that you can use to help you step down and wean yourself off of nicotine. Otherwise, what you're going to do is you're going to go out, you're going to buy some fancy pipe, and not all pipes are cheap. Corncob pipes can be pretty cheap. You can pick up a decent corncob for like $10. If you're trying to do something a little bit fancier and smoke out of a pipe like this, which, you know, this is a briar pipe. Briar is a type of wood. Specifically, this is like the root that they carve these out of. These are going to cost you anywhere, for a good one, anywhere from $40 upwards to $200, maybe even more, depending on who makes it. So, and that's another reason why I call it a hobby, is because it takes a little bit of money. So, and, you know, not only the pipe, but you have pipe cleaners, the tools, and of course all the different types of tobacco. And there are a lot of different types of pipe tobacco. There are many different brands and mixtures of pipe tobacco. And you can end up spending a whole lot of money on something that you think is going to replace your nasty addiction and your nasty habit, just to find out that that's not even close. And there's an art to smoking out of a pipe, which it probably sounds a little pretentious, but just stay with me for a second. Hear me out. With a cigarette, you pull it out of the pack, light it up, smoke. Simple. It's designed to be that way. It's designed to be readily available and quick. Whereas with a pipe, well, you can't just pull out a pipe, stuff it with tobacco, light it up, and then just like you can't do that. It doesn't work out very well in the end. You need to pack the pipe tobacco carefully, and then you will probably have to light it more than once. And there's nothing wrong with relighting your pipe, by the way. I know that there's some people out there, oh, you're not a real pipe smoker, you gotta light it more than once. Shut up. Nobody cares to hear your opinion, alright? Anyway. Sorry. You can, like I said, I'm still sick, you can kind of hear it. So, yeah, if you're looking for a nicotine replacement, don't think that pipe tobacco or even cigars is going to do it. Now, you can get more nicotine from a cigar. With a pipe, it's usually a very relaxed thing. You've only got so much in the bowl a lot of times, and a well-stuffed pipe will probably last, on average, maybe about 40-45 minutes, maybe. Whereas with a cigar, it's a significantly more amount of tobacco. Like, there's a lot more tobacco in a cigar than there is in a pipe bowl. And a cigar can easily take up to an hour, depending on the size of the cigar and the types of tobacco used to roll it. And the point being, though, is while you will get more nicotine out of a cigar, you're not going to get as much as you would from cigarettes, vaping, all that good stuff. Now, I understand why vaping is so popular. Like I said, I've vaped for a long time. I had some pretty cool setups. I really did have some pretty cool rigs. But ultimately, vaping is just as bad for you as smoking cigarettes is. Regardless of what your buddies at the shop that you go to may tell you, or what you tell yourself while you're sitting there puffing away. Let's face it, you don't have that vape for like an hour, 2 hours, you start freaking out. You start getting super ticked off, and I have seen it with my own eyes, and I've experienced it myself. So anybody who's sitting there trying to say, oh, it's better than cigarettes, it smells better than cigarettes, like that, I'll give it that. Yeah, there's a bunch of delicious smelling vapes out there. That's what they're designed to do. They're designed to be super tasty and smell good and deliver that hit of nicotine, and that's what's going to keep you coming back. So, yeah. But all of that being said, I'm going to go ahead and cut it there for the day. There will be other videos where we talk about the different kinds of pipes, the different kinds of tobacco, what tobaccos go really well with certain pipe styles because of just how air will flow through them. There's a bunch of stuff we'll cover, as well as just, thoughts on philosophy and movies and books and all sorts of stuff. And I'll probably do other video series on, pop culture, toys, nerd memorabilia, and all that good jazz. In the meantime, I'm Leafy Bomb. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.